definitely is one of the best all-round players the Premier League has ever seen.
I know we have agreed upon it. He is my number one.
Before you clicked on the video, I'm sure you knew who we were going to put number one. Yes, people, welcome back to the 1894 for a brand new video. Now, it's the international break. We took a little break ourselves, about a week, just to recharge the batteries and get ready for the big business end of the season, a big finish. But we wanted to come back today with a bit of a fun video. Let's get into our nostalgia feels for a few minutes, Rebel. We want to talk about our top 5 Man City players of all time. We have a list. I know not everybody's going to agree with our list. It's not too controversial, I think. All 5 of them are fairly fair picks, but we want you guys to get involved down below in the comments. Let us know your 5 players, in what order. Do you agree with ours? Let us know down below in the comments. Anyway, coming in at number 5 for us, we have gone for one of the first real big names we got in after the takeover, and he had a massive impact for a number of years, and he's arguably, or he definitely is, one of the best, most talented all-round players the Premier League has ever seen, and that, of course, is Yaya Toure. He came in and won 3 Premier Leagues, 3 League Cups, and 1 FA Cup. Now, compared to the next 4 players we're going to talk about, that's not even that many trophies, but for Man City and what we were trying to achieve, he was instrumental in scoring massive goals, FA Cup goals, league goals. The one against Newcastle, up top of my head, comes to mind in that 11-12 Premier League race against Man United. Those early days and getting ourselves off the mark with trophies would not have been achievable without Yaya Toure. Dara.
No, big game player. Absolute big game player. He always had something magic that he could just pull out. Like you said, the 2 goals against Newcastle, the FA Cup, he pulled one out against United and Stoke, both 2 very similar goals, but he was just so well-rounded. You know, he could anchor in midfield. He could take the ball from our half into their box. Like he was just a pure powerhouse of a player. You remember his goals against Aston Villa the day I'm pretty sure he got a hat-trick against him. The last goal, he powered through. He took it from the halfway line and just drove. He was just unstoppable. He's like a battering ram, and he just got through. He got through everything. And again, he could play between a 6 to a 10. Like he was so good, and how instrumental he was in that team. I mean, we're lucky that we've had such good midfielders that have been able to come in and just replace him, because if not for them, I mean, we would have been tough. We would have been tough finding a replacement. We're lucky we got De Bruyne. We're lucky we had David Silva until he was like 33. We're lucky we had Fernandinho to come in. It just made the transition a bit more seamless. But it can't be. You can't turn around and just say like, oh, he was very easily replaced, because he was so good. I think he's more than deserving. I think there's a case for him to be higher. I think we've settled on this list, but there is definitely a case for him to be higher.
There is a case for him to be higher. But I think as far as ability goes, I think from all 5 players we've chosen, Yaya Toure had the most ability. He was the most all-round player. Like you said, he could drive with the ball. He had the same finishing ability, if not better sometimes than Aguero. He could shoot. You know, he had absolutely everything, Yaya. He's such a complete footballer, and it's no surprise that his credentials are so long. You know, he's won pretty well everything in the game, bar on an international stage. But anyway, Yaya Toure, top player, comes in at number 5 for us. Very grateful that he gave so much to the club, because we wouldn't be here without him, I think. So coming in at number 4, still playing for us today, and I think he could move further up the list again if City continue to get sustained success and really cement himself as a City legend should we ever win a Champions League while he's at the club. Kevin De Bruyne has been... You know, he was brought in after being a Chelsea reject, did his time in Germany, built a bit of a name for himself there. When he came to the club, I remember there was some quotes from Paul Merson being like, oh, this guy, they should have gone for someone else because this guy De Bruyne is not going to be good enough. And De Bruyne comes in and absolutely slams it, proves everybody wrong. And on his day, granted, a bit more recently, he's not been at his very best. He's been a bit inconsistent. But since we've had De Bruyne, what he's given to us has been unbelievable. 3 Premier Leagues, 5 League Cups, and 1 FA Cup. I think, like I said, on his day, he is the best midfielder in the world. And I think there's still more to come. He's now formed into a bit of a leadership role at the club. And I think that is very useful in the dressing room. I think a lot of players look to him for guidance. He's a player who still has legacy to grow. And like I said, can work his way higher up the list should success continue to come. Well, Kevin De Bruyne.
You've kind of just summed it up. I mean, I think he will move up. I think he's going to be... It's not an if, to be honest with you. I think it's more so when that we eventually do win the Champions League, he'll prove vital in it. Could be this season. But he's going to... I think he'll end up on the same trajectory as Silva, in the fact that he'll drop a bit deeper. He'll be able to do more of, not the dirty work, but he'll drop a bit deeper and maybe become slightly less instrumental. But he's still that man, I agree with you, on his day, he's the best midfielder in the world. And now his day has been few and far between lately, but I think he'll come up eventually. I mean, everybody has their off seasons, you know. I mean, everyone has their off days. So I think, again, like you said, that's cemented. His top 5 place for me definitely is cemented. It's just a matter of how far he can go up, to be honest with you. Can he eclipse what the other 3 on this? I don't know, but
if he wants to,
he has a doubt he can.
He definitely can. He definitely can, and he's going for longevity. I believe he wants to stay at the club for another little while, at least, possibly till he retires. By the looks of it, because he's extended, I think, for quite a while. So
25, I think his extension is.
Yeah, so that'll take him up to about 33, 34. I don't know if he'd have any big contracts in him after that, but he is already a club legend and can definitely immortalise himself with further success. You just know Kevin De Bruyne is desperate to win that Champions League. Desperate. He knows that he was one of the first players that Pep really looked to as an instrumental figure in the way Pep wants to play. And De Bruyne really smashed that. You know, he suits so perfectly the way Pep wants to play. A strong midfielder who can break between the lines and is also a great passing ability. We all know this. So De Bruyne wants to further that legacy and take City from where Yaya Toure left us as Premier League type champions, domestic success, into the next realm of success, which is obviously the European stage. And that has to be something that De Bruyne and Guardiola and the rest of the club want to do right now. Anyway, the next 3 players, I'm sure you all know who the 3 are, but the order in which we have done it could be somewhat controversial. I think everybody's going to have their own orders because everyone has magical memories with all 3 of these players, and everybody has special moments and reasons why they prefer maybe one over another. But we can all unanimously agree that the 3 of them are absolute legends, which is why all 3 of them, 2 do now, and one, the last one, will have a statue eventually. In number 3, we have gone for David Silva. And you can disagree with us all you like. We fully understand that. But David Silva, what an unbelievable servant, first of all, at the club. Yeah, you have to say. First, unbelievable servant. All 3 of the players we're going to speak about in the top 3 did not need to stay at the club 10 plus years. No one envisaged that. World Cup winning maestro David Silva comes to Manchester City when the facilities were still very below par, when the club hadn't hit the heights that maybe he deserved as a World Cup winner, but he came in and he wanted to lead us along with other players to becoming a top club, and that's exactly what he did, and it's exactly why he has a statue at the stadium right now that everybody worships. He came in and won 4 Premier Leagues, 5 Carabao Cups or League Cups, depending on what era he won them in, and 2 FA Cups. That is an unbelievable haul of medals for a player that came to the club when we weren't successful at all. I mean, yes, we'd been taken over, but success hadn't come to us. There was no guarantee of trophies for a World Cup winning player to come to us. What do you think?
Yeah, no, like you said, he never clamoured for a move. He was never on the brigade of, I'll wait it out to this next contract. It was always just a constant. He got to the age of, I think, 33, 34, and it was like, right, it's come to an end. But he's my number 1. I know we have agreed upon it. He is my number 1. I think he adapted to when he got the when he was getting old, like getting a bit tired. He adapted into the sitting deep role. I thought he was fantastic. He's like, I know we said Yaya Toure is the best ability was at the club. David Silva's magic. I'll never forget the little touch he had against Aguero's first hat-trick in English football. For the 3rd goal, Silva set it up. He kind of it was against Wigan, pulled back and put through someone's legs. It was just, it's a little core memory for me watching it. He was fantastic. He's just a wizard on the pitch. And again, like I said, he's my number 1. I love the man to death.
Exactly. I mean, everybody's 1, 2, 3 are going to be different. I mean, we're not saying that this should be your order, people. This is the way it should be. All these 3 players that who we're going to speak about, David Silva's the top 3 for us now, are all legends in their own right, and everybody's going to have their own loves and reasons as to why they prefer one over another or preferences. But David Silva, an absolute club legend. And it's just a shame he never got a massive send-off. I'm sure he will in the near future. Hopefully that can get organised whenever he finishes playing football himself. But undisputed Manchester City club legend. He took us from... He didn't take us from one level to another. He took us over his whole span at City from one level up 4 or 5 levels. He from the moment he arrived at the club, we knew he was special, but no one could have foresaw what he would bring along the way with him. David Silva is our number 3. Let us know down below where he fits in for you guys. And number 2, we have gone for the living legend himself. Where do you want your statue, Vincent Kompany? He is number 2. The captain himself came in as a centre midfielder, turned into a centre back, became the leader of the dressing room very quickly, scored countless massive goals. Once again in that title race against Man United, the headed goal in the Etihad to essentially not win us the league, but really give us a belief that we actually can win this league right now. I mean, I remember on that day, I remember watching it on telly that day. The atmosphere, it was a nighttime game, it was unbelievable, and there was a camera on Kompany in the tunnel as I waiting to come out, and Kompany's focus down that tunnel was scary. You wouldn't want to get in his way, basically, when he was coming out that tunnel. And then he goes out and scores that goal in that manner and celebrates in that way. That's just one small memory. Then you've got the Leicester goal. I was there for that one. We're once again chasing a league. It seems to be a common pattern here. Kompany comes up when we're chasing the league. The stadium is nervy. We need to win this game to get the league off Liverpool. And he comes up with a 40-yard screamer in the top bins. I mean, this guy lived and breathed Manchester. His wife is Mancunian. He considers himself half Mancunian, and he absolutely bleeds blue. 4 Premier Leagues, 4 League Cups, 2 FA Cups, and everything else on top of that individual awards. Vincent Kompany is absolutely colossal in the growth and history of Manchester City Football Club, Rebel.
Yeah, no, he ended up leaving with a Mancunian accent. I think in the Amazon Prime one, it kind of showed him at home when United were playing West Brom. It showed him at home with his missus, her family are Reds, but he's literally speaking as if he's English. His impact as a footballer, though, cannot be said enough. I mean, you saw when he left the season after he left, we fell apart. I don't think we had any glue holding on together. He was the glue. Luckily, we've got Diaz in now, but Kompany, like you said, he came up so many big goals. We were already talking about that before we hit record. I mean, he turns up all these goals, the header against United, like you said, the goal against Leicester again. Like he was so instrumental in everything. And for a defender, I mean, you can use the term clutch. He was clutch. Like he came in clutch for so many big, huge Premier League moments, and even in the cups as well. He turned up. I mean, he scored against Arsenal, League Cup final. I know we're already 2-0 up, but that absolutely murdered the game if it wasn't dead already. He's a big game player. He always was, and I remember the day I was going into work. It was announced early morning, I think a couple of days after we won the FA Cup, that he was leaving, and it actually upset me. Obviously it was always going to upset me, but it was very sad, especially when we had like Laporte and Stones. That was pretty much it. But he left the club at probably the best time, but then you saw the next season how much we missed him. I mean, his impact again as a footballer, as a leader, as everything, you can't say it enough.
I heard Big Steve make an interesting point on Kompany, or sorry, give an interesting fact on Big Kompany, Vincent Kompany, or you can call it Big Kompany too, which was that he knew he was leaving that season the whole way through. He knew from the very start of the season, this is my last season, and he told nobody. He told none of his teammates, he told nobody at the club, or he probably told the hierarchy, but he didn't tell anybody because he didn't want that to distract anybody from winning a title race. This guy was a born and bred winner and leader, and people really looked to him for guidance. And another testament to Vincent Kompany is that he survived Mancini, Pellegrini, Pep, all these different styles of play, all these different types of leaderships, all these different demands, and he still was the creme de la creme player that we always look to. He an unbelievable player, an unbelievable leader, and he is definitely immortal in Manchester City history. So Vincent Kompany, we love you. You are number 2 for us today. And then moving into number 1, I'm sure you've all guessed it by now. Long ago from before you clicked on the video, I'm sure you knew who we were going to put number 1. And that, of course, is the man we made a special video on ourselves back when we were a much smaller channel, on Sergio Aguero. He is probably my footballing hero, Sergio Aguero. He has given myself, probably everybody watching in some way or form, unbelievable life-lasting memories. I mean, do I even need to go over the stories of 93-20? I'll never forget watching that. All the goals, 5 Premier Leagues, 6 League Cups, 1 FA Cup, and 260 goals in all competitions. This guy he wasn't a big character. He was very quiet. He was almost shy in many ways from people who knew him. But he did his business on the pitch. He was an absolute assassin on the pitch. The highest goal-scoring foreigner to ever play in the Premier League. This guy is just he's a special guy, and I really can't wait to see his statue up in the Etihad. Sergio Aguero is undoubtedly City's definitely most iconic and best player of all time. This guy was something really, really special. A once-in-a-lifetime player. Darren.
Yeah, he's put out the most iconic goal of all time. I mean, there's not that doesn't be Sergio Aguero as well. Like you said, he came from Atletico Madrid. I think they were fresh off winning. They were two 2 years just off winning the Europa League. He came in, he was fantastic. For the best Premier League debut of all time. So he got 2 goals and an assist against Swansea. He was you knew as soon as he walked onto the pitch, I think he had half an hour to make his mark. He left his mark. He was straight from then. You knew how good he was going to be. He was there for everything. Bar the first FA Cup, he was there for everything. Probably should have got a Champions League, realistically speaking. We all know he didn't. But he's just, I mean, in my opinion, the greatest Premier League striker of all time. I'm sure you agree, but he was so good. I mean, are we missing him this season? I looked at a game like Palace and thought that's an Aguero game. You put Aguero in there, he's getting 2 goals. You know what I mean? It's another one of those where obviously I spoke about Kompany. I said how much of an impact his leadership going and his ability going. Same can be said for Aguero. I mean, you're missing out on someone who was not a big character off the pitch with the media and all, but especially in that dressing room, I'd say he was looked upon as a senior member. He was looked upon as someone who was a leader. And again, it's another figurehead that left when he had to, and we've missed his impact definitely. But he's still, as a footballer, I mean, he was small. He could still score headers. He could get in behind anyone. He scored so many different types of goals. He could score from angles. He could break in behind the defence. He could score a header again. He was so good. One of the most complete forwards I've ever seen. And again, you can't say you just have to say 93-20, and he kind of cements it.
Yeah, but many people love Sergio Aguero more than they love their own mothers for those kind of moments, like 93-20. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But he was tempted to move away from City. I mean, I don't mean he was tempted personally. I mean, clubs were after him, rightly so. He was the best striker in the Premier League for so long. Clubs like Real Madrid and Barcelona wanted him much earlier than when Barcelona ultimately got him. But he stayed. He stuck with us. He stuck through Mancini. He stuck through Pellegrini. He stuck through Pep. And talking about when he was with Pep didn't always favour Aguero, and Aguero still stuck it out, particularly in Pep's first season. Aguero wasn't favoured, but Pep was really on the idea of not playing Aguero, and Aguero stuck at it, kept going, and he became huge in the 18-19 season when we beat Liverpool by a point. And we all remember that goal against Liverpool in the Etihad when we beat them 2-1. This guy, we'd be here all night if we were to talk about how many big moments this guy had. He was a truly special player, and he is absolutely our number one. And I think he's probably all of your number ones as well. Let's not get it twisted. But let us know down below in the comments once again what your order is. Your 1 to 5. We thought we'd just have a bit of fun with it, get some nostalgia in before the craziness of the end of the season commences once again this weekend. We're looking forward to that, Burnley away. But yes, we enjoyed this video. Let us know all of your thoughts on the video down below in the comments, and we'll see you hopefully tomorrow or the next day with some more videos. God bless.